Genesis, chapter 1, God's work of creation. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw the light, and it was good. God divided the light and the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. The evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the mornings were the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. And God called in the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, and herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth," and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day, and God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let there be signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth," and it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. In the evening and the morning were the fourth day, and God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven." And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly, and after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind," and it was so. And God made the beast of earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." And God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. I swear to you, that's what it says. It's right there. If you're curious which Bible I'm reading, Thor Cortland Fredrickson, June 23rd, 1969. Signed by my grandfather, Thor Frederickson, PM. And God blessed them, and the God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. Chapter 2. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested in the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in the Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into four heads. They parted a river into four heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon, and the same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel, that is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took into the man, and put him into the Garden of Eden, to dress it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam, to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found an helpmeet for him. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall into Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib rib which the Lord God had taken from him made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now the bone of my bones, and the flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and there shall be one flesh. They were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. Chapter 3. The first sin and its punishment. Now the serpent was the more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, So hold on. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the man which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat out of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said. The midst just means in the middle. Ye shall not eat it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and also gave unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the fruit whereof I commanded thee that thou should not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou givest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly thou shalt go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and the thistles shall it bring forth to thee. Thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it hast thou taken. For dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord make his coats of skins, and clothe them. And the Lord God said, Behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth into the Garden of Eden, from the Garden of Eden, to till the ground from whence he was taken. And he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword, which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Chapter 4. The Two Brothers and the First Murder. And Adam knew Eve was his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brothers Abel, and Abel was a keeper of all sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou dost not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cry unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken unto him sevenfold. And the Lord shall set a mark unto Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And Cain went up from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, in the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Jael, and Jael begat Methuselah, and Methuselah begat Lamech. And Lamech took unto him two wives. The name of one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal, and he was the father of all such that handle the harp and the organ. And Zillah also bare Jubal Cain, and was an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Jubal was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah were my boys. Ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and 70-fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For God said, She hath appointed me another seed inside of Abel, whom Cain slew instead of Abel. And to Seth, to him also there was bore a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of the Lord. Chapter 5, Genealogy of the Patriarchs. This is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that God created man in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam. And the day when they were created, and Adam lived 130 years, and begat a son in his own likeness, after his image, and called him Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And that Seth lived 105 years, and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years. So Adam, and the days of Adam after he begot Seth were 800 years. And all the days Adam lived were 930 years. Seth lived 105 years and begat Enos. And Seth lived after he begat Enos 807 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 9. So it sounds like Adam is some kind of demigod-like creature himself. Perhaps Adam himself is the fallen angel, the angel which God said you would be the one to go into and create man. So, how long have men lived on this earth? Well, see, that's the problem, isn't it? Right? Because in the gist of things, not very long. And in some parts of the world, much longer than other parts. And, you know, so this was in the continent of Asia taking place. So, I don't know. Lots of begatting going on. Enos lived 90 years and begat Canaan. Enos lived after he begat Canaan 850 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the sons of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 70 years and begat Mahalalel. And Canaan lived after he begat Mahalalel 840 years. Who did? Canaan? Who's Canaan? Why is he living so long? Enos only lived 90 years, and he begat Canaan, who then went on to live. Oh wait, never mind. What am I reading? He begat, and Canaan lived after he begat. Oh, I see. So he was 70 when he gave birth, when he had a son, and then he lived 800 more years. So Enos lived, he begat Canaan 850 years. Oh, okay, I see. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And 800 years, Jared begat Enoch, and all the days of Jared. Enoch lived 60 and 5 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with God, and he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God to look at him. And he was not, for God took him. And Methuselah lived 100 years and 7 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived after he begat Lamech 782 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the sons of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son, and he named his son Noah. Ooh, there's one I recognize. Saying, this name shall comfort us concerning our work and toil in our hands, because of the ground which Lord hath cursed. I see. So Noah will make the land no longer a sand planet. So on a sand planet, man lives for like 900 years or is kind of almost immortal, according to this Bible. So, but then Noah, obviously, spoilers, and Lamech lived after he begat Noah 590 and 5 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the sons of Lamech were 770 and 70 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. God warns Noah of the coming deluge. And it came to pass, when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of the gods saw the daughters of man, and they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. And the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Ooh. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and the beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made him. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man, imperfect in his generations, and Noah walked with God. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked unto the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way unto the earth. And God said unto Noah, The end of the flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, it will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, and the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Thou shalt a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof with lower second, and the 3rd story shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee shall I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy wives with thee. And if every living thing of all flesh, to of every sort, shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every sort shall come into thee, and keep them alive. And take thou into the art of the food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded, so did he. So according to this, the world that existed before the flood was not a garden. It was not. It was a desert. So perhaps, it was just like field mice and lizards and snakes and stuff. But also, like, I guess, mountain lions, other desert animals. But it's not like a jungle that's full of like every single animal that exists in the earth. Not that the jungle even is that itself. And I don't believe that it's talking about the entire earth flooding. It doesn't even say that. It just says that the area is going to flood. The area that seems to be the Middle East talks about Assyria. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be food for thee and for them. Noah and his family saved in the ark. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, and the male his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, and male and the female, to keep seed alive into the face of all earth, for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, into the ark, because of the waters of the flood, of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two into the ark, and the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the water of the flood were upon the earth. And in the 600th year of the Noah's life, in the 2nd month, in the 17th day of the month, in the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth and the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his son with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh. Where's the breath of life? And they went in, a male and female of all flesh, and God commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the water increased, and the bear in the ark, and it was lift upon the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went into the face of the waters. And the water prevailed exceedingly high into the earth, and all the high hills that were unto the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered, and all flesh died that moved into the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, all that was in the dry land died, and every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both men and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. The deluge ends. Noah leaves the ark. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from the heaven was restrained, and the waters returned them from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the 7th month, and the 17th day of the month, in the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, and the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he made, and he sent forth a raven which went forth to and fro, and the waters were dried up from off the earth. And he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took to her and pulled her into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated off the earth. And he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, in the first day of the month, the waters were dried up off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, and the face of the ground was dry. In the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all the flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply unto the earth. Noah went forth, and his sons and his wives, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth. And after their kinds went forth out of the dark, and Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings unto the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, Will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Never again will I smite any more everything living as I have done. The Lord smelled the sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. That's cute. It's true. Sometimes it's true. It's not always true. It's probably true. And while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and the days and nights shall not cease. Closer. Sorry. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Chapter 9. God's Covenant with Noah. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and the fear of you and the dread of all you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb shall have I give you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. No cannibalism. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And you be ye fruitful, and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of the flood, neither shall there be any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you, and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I establish between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham, and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the noble earth overspread. And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunk, and he was uncovered in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the drunkenness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid upon both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew that his younger sons had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall be unto my brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell into the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Chapter 10. Genealogy of Noah's descendants. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, and Gomer, and Magog, and Madad, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Japheth, and these were the isles of Gentiles, divided in their lands, every one of his tongue, after their families in the nations. The sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Nehibbah, and Sabbath, and Ramah, and Sabtijah. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth, and he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it was said, even the Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Echad, and Canaan, in the land of Shinar. Out of the land went from Asher, and rebuilt Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth, and Calah. And the ratio between Nineveh and Calah is the same as a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludim, and Anamim, and Lehabim, and Nephutim, and Pathrushim, and Kaslu, out of who was Philistim, and Gilad. And Canaan begat Sidon his firstborn, and Jeth, and the Jebusite, and Amorite, and Gigarite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Shemarite, and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the broader of the Canaanites was from the Sidon. Thou comest of Geger, and Gaza, and thou goest in Sodom, and Gomorrah, and Adamah, and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, and the brother of Japheth, and the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, and Ul, and Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Shalah, and Shalah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, and in his days was the earth divided. And his brother's name was Jotan. And Jotan begat Almadad, and Sheleph, and Hazaroth Theves, and Abadbra, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Amabah, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Hivilah, and Jobad. And all these were the sons of Jotan. And their dwelling was from Misha, and thou goest unto Sephar, and mountain east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, and their lands, and after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations and their nations. And by these were the nations divided into the earth of the flood. So, I'm taken to believe that if you watched the Bible Let's Talk About It video in my prayers playlist, you know that I'm talking about Noah and about the flood, and about the earth shattering and breaking apart, and water coming out from the earth, and the earth is hollow, and water goes into the earth, and all that stuff. No, I didn't say any of that, but that's what this just said. It's about the land was not fertile, was not on a good axis. It was all a cube. There was one, and it broke apart. And guess what happened? The moon went into the sky, and the earth, the water rose, and so the earth was fertile. And man was no longer immortal. So, chapter 11, Confusion of Tongues at the Tower of Babel. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach into the heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad into the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not speak one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence into the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth. And from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad into the face of all earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Shah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Shelah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Shelah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Shelah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And Reu lived after he begat Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters. And Sheru lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Nahor lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 920 years and begat Terah. Yes, he only had one kid right at the end of his life. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. Oops, I should have kept reading. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Namor, and Naaran. And these are the generations of Tehran. And Tehran became Abram. Abram. That's going to be Abraham. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, and Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Tehran. Tehran begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Tehran in the lands of the nativity, and in the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives, and the sons of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, and the father of Milcah, and the father of Isaac. But Sarai was barren, and she had no child. And Terah took Abram his wife, and Lot the son of Abram his son's son, and Sarai and his daughter-in-law his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from and the Chaldees, and go into the land of Canaan. And they came into Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. This is another chapter of begatting. No, actual drama's going on there. So why don't we take a pause there, because not much going on in this moment of the Bible. Just a lot of begatting, everybody begatting each other. Um, so summarize. Let's seriously summarize. And, you want to see a picture? The Porch of Judgment. Solomon's Temple. So, they lived in a desert. Everyone lived to be like thousands of years old. The world, water erupted out of the land, is what it said. And thus the earth was nourished. And yea, there was a flood. And soon enough, man stops being immortal. I feel like the reason that they get so much detail about the begatting is because they're essentially letting you know a lot has happened since the creation of man up until where our story starts. So it was important enough that they must include the eruption of water, which caused the nourishment of life that did take place during Noah's life. So that got a mention, a whole story up into itself. But then there was generation after generation after generation after generation, all the way down to Abram and Lot. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, I think they're trying to get the point across that the family of Abraham, he already has, if you call literally every single living person on this earth that existed at that time, his cousin, because they're all the children of Adam. Well, it doesn't even get into how many people are actually on the earth, because it says that they have their it documents the firstborn, and then it doesn't document anything after that. So they could have 100 children after that. And it's like going on and on and on. And I think the reason that it drones on so much is because it's trying to get the point across that by the time the person who will eventually in the book summon and ultimately create God, Abraham, came into existence, there was already a lot of people. So the people who are the people of this book are a very small minority. They are only the descendants of Abraham, and that is, it's a book, it's a genealogy, it's a story of a genealogy. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, who renames himself Israel, Joseph, Moses and Aaron, Joshua, King David, so they're all a family. It's all one family. You know what I'm talking about? They're all Jewish, and so it's ultimately just like the family history. It's like a book that's just like a family has sat down and written their, family history and printed it, and there you have it. So, thank you for listening. I appreciate you very much. If you watched this much, I literally expect nobody to. But this is, I've already read this much, and I want to got that much left to go. Read this much. So, I mean, it's not going to take forever. And then when I'm done, I can always just go back and listen to these. So that's why I'm doing this. And if anybody gets enjoyment or satisfaction from listening, that would mean the world to me and make it all the better.